Yeah, so basically, I'm gonna try to explain to you guys how you keep your game alive with live ops and just make sure that you can keep generating revenue from your game over the years. So a bit of background, I've been making games for the last 25 years. I used to be an artist, then an art director, and I used to be an entrepreneur as well. So I've set up a company in 2012 making content for PlayStation Home as a third-party dev, and that's how I started doing live ops. And I continued in 2014 making another company to create Atom Universe, which is our own virtual world. So that's probably what I'm going to use more as an example in this presentation. So we've kept the game alive for the last 4 years effectively. So hopefully there's some experience I can share with you guys. So live ops is like an arsenal of tools that you can use mostly in free-to-play games to keep your players engaged, coming back to the game. Why would the player want to come back over and over and over again and keep generating revenue for you? So there are three aspects I can distinguish, even though they're quite intertwined. So one aspect is a community management, not only from social media platforms, but also your own community and newsletters and your own blogs. There's also in-game tools. It's basically updating the game with new things that are interesting for the user to use and to come and revisit and get new rewards. And the third one is a commercial incentive on the store, doing bundles and sales and that sort of thing. Another way of looking at this distinction between the three different aspects of live ops is what do you want to achieve? So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the concept of a conversion funnel. Anyone knows what? I see some people nodding. So basically the idea is that you've got lots of users in your target audience, and then you need to acquire some of them to become new users for you. So that's probably adverts and social media. And then the next stage is to turn those new users into returning users, so making sure they come back and revisit. So that's probably the core of live ops. That's called user retention. And the third aspect is once you've retained those users, they're happy to come back, that you want them to spend some money. So that's a conversion. Effectively, it's a monetization aspect. So how do you make them spend their money? So the first aspect I wanted to talk to you about is community management. So mostly on social media. So for Atom Universe, we have thousands of fans on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, but also Instagram. We find Instagram users are very, very engaged and very active, even though there's less of them. But also we have our own media. So for instance, we have dev blogs. Every week we write a dev blog, and obviously we push that on social media platforms. We send a newsletter to registered users. So we give a perk to players who give us their email address. So we give them like free subscription for a month or something. And as a result, we get their contact details. So we can give them an email every time there's an update. A Twitch channel as well is a good idea to kind of do a playthrough or explain how you get which reward and do a Q&A with the community because it's interactive, so that's really useful, really effective. We can do weekend events as well. So this weekend there's going to be music played from such artists, and next weekend it's going to be a Christmas party and so on. So it's not necessarily social media. It could be, it encompasses social media, but it's also in-game events. And customer support is a big one as well. I think Joe talked about customer support quite a lot. I think it can be soul destroying, but you need to do some of that, and obviously not get too engaged emotionally into it, because you get a lot of harassment from customers. But what we do is we use Zendesk to manage email coming in and out. But there's multiple third-party systems you can use. So a little advice to keep your campaign effective is to use interactive campaigns. So for instance, we did a Christmas jumper design contest. So on Facebook we said, what would you like on your Christmas jumper? And we picked a winner, and that went into the game. Another good engagement mechanic is to use the engagement emojis in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So vote, get them to vote for, like the post to vote for the rabbit, wow to vote for the jaguar, and so on. And this way you get lots of engagement, and that post gets, using the algorithm from Facebook, it gets on more people's timeline effectively because it's got more engagement. Name an arcade cabinet in the game. That's another one that was really popular. Use social media to do giveaways. So, for instance, get people to share and like, and you pick a winner who will get, in-game currency as a reward. Scheduling events and promoting them on your social media channels as well. So we did like anniversary celebration every year, and we promoted it on the social media platforms. So that's outside the game. Now inside the game, what you can do is, first of all, you need to have a balance in game economy. Are you guys familiar with the concept of soft currency and hard currency? So some people are nodding. So basically, it's give and take. So you give away soft currency to keep people playing. So every day you get, in Atom Universe, every day you get 50 atoms for just logging in, and then you get more atoms for exploring, completing some challenges, and also from free virtual items regularly. So you want to come back and revisit the game, and where you take its monetization tools. So you've got your hard currency you have to spend real money for to buy certain items. There's also a subscription, which is a good idea to give you a recurrent income. So every month the subscription gets automatically renewed. So it's your baseline of income. You also have some consumable that we started doing in Atom Universe. So you can buy a coffee, and obviously once you've drunk your coffee, you have to buy another one. But in most games, you can have fuel for vehicles, you can have food. There's lots of things you can sell and think of that would make people keep buying because they run out. We're also thinking of a day pass system where you pay, for 24 hours, you've got access to all the rides or all the activities in the game. And another thing we want to implement is a tickets roll, like a fairground. You buy 10 tickets for £10, and you can use one ticket on the Ferris wheel and one ticket on the roller coaster. So that's another way to kind of force people to buy 10 tickets instead of one. Even though they only want to go on the roller coaster, they still have to buy 10 tickets. Another retention mechanic that we use, and that's quite successful, is to have to encourage the user to explore all the aspects of the game. So sometimes they just want to go to the fairground space, but they don't want to explore all the other areas of the game. So you can see from your game analytics which are the more popular and less popular spaces, and encourage the players to explore the less popular spaces by having pickups. And if they collect all the pickups, you give them a reward. And also, it's a good idea to update those rewards regularly. So add new challenges over time. So suddenly you can get, a new T-shirt, a new pair of glasses from playing a new challenge. So that just freshens up the game. So it's not like once you've seen it all, there's no reason to come back. You actually, give more reason to come back over time. So there's new challenges propping up all the time. Drip feeding new content effectively. So the extreme example of that is we had an advent calendar, and you buy it on the 1st of December, and every single day you get a new reward, and you don't know what it is. It's a surprise. So it's like a loot box sort of, mechanic where you want to buy it because it's a surprise and it's exciting. Seasonal content, so obviously Christmas, Halloween, 4th of July, Easter, St. Patrick's Day. So that's something that sells pretty well, especially Halloween for some reason. People really love to kind of be in the mood of the season. Time-limited content is a good one as well to make sure people log in regularly. They something called the fear of missing out. That's a very humane thing to have. Like most people are afraid of missing out what their mates might get, so they will want to log in. So just don't be too predictable and just keep at certain times without warning giving out certain rewards. So for bragging rights, so people can say, "Aha, I was there, you were not, and I've got this." So for instance, St. Patrick's hat you can only buy on St. Patrick's. Double Atom rewards only this weekend, 50% off for subscribers this weekend only, and the same for Halloween. Limited edition items is incredibly popular. I felt that wouldn't work, and everyone on my team was saying it's never going to sell. Come on, $20 for a suit. It's not even a real suit. But guess what? It sold so quickly, like hotcakes. It's incredible. People were ready to spend, $20, $30, $40, $50 for a rare item because, again, it's for bragging rights. You can say, aha, I got this, you don't. So it's probably only the hardcore fans who will buy it, but they will buy it. So in-game events I was alluding to earlier. So for instance, we've played the music of a band called Alter Sky only for a weekend, and if you logged in the game that weekend, you got the T-shirt. You couldn't get it afterwards. We had Friday the 13th event with complimentary T-shirt. Foam party, incredibly popular. All it is there's a layer of foam on the dance floor, and we toggle it on and off from the back end. So we decide this weekend is going to be a foam party. Turn on the foam. People love it and just flock to it because it's different, and they can take screenshots and say, aha, I was at the foam party, you missed out. It's very simple, but people love it. In-game events, so I was telling about St. Patrick's earlier. We also do regular block parties, Valentine's, and also we use a stress test as an excuse to be an event. So what would be something that could cost you money when you would pay testers to stress test the servers. What we did is we asked the community to try and join in, and because it was a stress test, if it crashed, we didn't get too much hassle from the community because they knew it was a test. So clubs and communities, that's something we do as well. That's quite successful. We create, for instance, this varsity jacket for the hammies, which is like the people who like to dress like hamsters. Don't ask me why, but they have hamster masks, and they go in the game dressed as hamsters. And they are really loyal customers, and as a result of us making that varsity jacket for them, they organize their own parties, and they do our old PR for free. So they recruit new players for us by saying, come and join our club. And so it's something that doesn't cost you much, really, and it's just like free PR. And the last one, probably the most obvious, is the commercial incentives. So looking at your game analytics, you will decide what you're going to put on sale and what you're going to make bundles from, just to keep your product selling and increase the lifetime of your products. So we've got two systems for game analytics. We've got our own game analytics where we've got all granularity of looking at which item sells when. So we've got a little slider where you can choose the date, and you've got blocks of colors that show which product is the most popular. So you know at every given time what sells and what's the most popular, and what doesn't sell at all, and you need to put on sale effectively or give away. The other aspect of game analytics is Google. We use Google Analytics. So that's a screenshot from Google Analytics. So you can track how many users you've got every day, every month, and you can see the peaks and troughs from the weekend. So every peak is a weekend, and every trough is a week, and that's the Christmas holiday. So you can see there's like a plateau of users because people are on holiday. They've got some spare time to play a game. So you can see monetization, and you can see user acquisition. So you can see both aspects of the funnel I was talking about earlier. We also use in-game questionnaires, so it's like a little pop-up in the game where people can vote. So we can, from the back end, we can change the questions in real time. So you can say, which is your favorite outfit? What activity would you like to have next between bumper cars and roller coaster? And we can analyze the votes, and actually people vote a lot. They care to vote, so we get thousands of responses to every questionnaire, and that helps us determine what we're going to develop next. The sales are pretty obvious, but you can do it on inside the game. So you can put things on sale inside the game, which is straightforward. But you can also use the store. So you can use the Steam store, you can use the PlayStation store wherever you are, or the App Store, and take part in your promotions. For instance, So Sony were organizing a Sale of the Dead for Halloween, and we did a massive discount, like 80% off our zombie bundle, and we sold 30 times more zombie bundles during that period of time because we had free exposure. Effectively, it's as if we were paying to be advertised, only we didn't pay. So we got featured on the PlayStation Store prominently because it was Halloween, and people downloaded Atom Universe because they saw this, they found out about it. So it's a good way to get new users, user acquisition. So bundles, likely you can the same way as for the sales, you can do in-app purchases of bundles. So you bundle your items, virtual items inside the game. That's really straightforward. So you can do it immediately. You look at your data and you go, this doesn't sell anymore. We need to bundle it together to encourage people to buy it. But also if you use the platform holder store, so Steam Store, PlayStation Store, and have a big bundle there, then you've got more visibility. So people go, you can get Japanese items in that game. Okay, what's that game? Because otherwise they would never find out about the Japanese items unless they downloaded the game. So that will, again, give you more discoverability. It's a bit more faff, but it's worth it. So to conclude, just listen to your audience and make sure that you play the game to engage with the community and chat with the players and see what they say about your game. Look at the comments on the Steam, the reviews on Steam, and you can get a good idea of how people like your next update from the Facebook page. And as I was saying earlier, don't be too consistent. So keep your players on their toes. So if you're too predictable, they will wait for the sale to happen because they know there's going to be a sale every month or whatever. So they're not going to buy the products when they come out. So just don't be predictable and use their fear of missing out by doing like surprise sales and releasing new content when they don't expect it, sort of thing. And obviously revise the prices regularly based on the sales data you've got from your analytics. So I don't know if I have time to develop or do I need to wrap up or?
No. I mean, this is the last one of the day, so as our audience. I mean, we should go on for a couple of minutes, but. Okay, so just really quickly then. I didn't find a book specifically for live ops, but these 3 books are quite helpful to read if you're interested in games as a service and basically the model of freemium. And there's a little blog from Jacqueline Zen that I find useful, and that's it. Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Did anyone have any questions? We can get away with 1 or 2. Again, it's kind of free consulting, Yep. Oh, hiding behind a pillar. Sorry.
I just had a question about how you balance, I'm not sure about your game specifically, but how you balance new features versus new content, so like new skins and stuff.
So new features is, the problem is development costs. So new features, they cost a lot to make. That's the problem. So I think I would say new skins and new content is easier to make as a developer, because I'm looking at it from a production value perspective. I would say, it's a lot better value for money to do a new skin because it's not hard. But obviously I get a lot of hard time from the community if I do too much of that. They see it and they go, well, come on, nothing's new. We're not interested in you taking our money. We're interested in having new fun things to do. So it's a balancing act. But I would say 3 times out of 4, I would rather do new content than new features. It brings you more revenue. I release a bunch of new dances, and that gets me more revenue. If I have to do a new feature, I have to get the team on it for a month. So.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.